Good morning, crispy chickens. So we are on our next game in the Lords of Middle-earth tournament. So this is game 2 between myself and Gimli's Axe. So game 1, I was Shadow. He was Free People, so we're doing the swap or Rude this time. So he starts out with Ring Wraiths and Monsters Roused, and I start out with Power 2 Great, and I Will Go Alone. Interestingly, both these cards, like all of these cards, except for I Will Go Alone maybe, are kind of hinting at Rivendell first. Like, I would be slightly tempted just for putting rerolls on sake. Like, you could play Monsters Roused, walk these orcs over, and then play Ring Wraiths and bring these Nazgul and attack Rivendell. And then you just got 2 rerolls on the Fellowship for turn 1. Like, that being said, Fellowship would probably move first, but it'd be an interesting just corruption pressure idea. And that's a bit of a waste of time. Like, you would be putting in, 2 Palantirs, like to play both of them, or a muster character, of course, and an army movement. And Sauron to war. Still, that's 4 dice in though, and like that's not a terrible army to besiege Rivendell with and get those rerolls early. Like that'd be fun. Anyway, okay, so here we go. I don't put anyone out. I didn't even pick any alternate companions. Spoiler alert. This is a way I'm trying out. I know in my video analyzing the different companion strats, I say Alt Gimli is best. I've just been experimenting with it lately because lately corruption pressure feels like the be all and end all. So I've just been experimenting with keeping all the companions just for survival's sake. And also, if you're going to crown Aragorn, like you really can't afford to have like an alternate companion out and then separate Strider to crown him. So, like then you've sacrificed 5 hit points. It feels like a very small and fragile Fellowship after that. Anyway, so I'm trying it out anyway. I honestly don't know which way is best. I think I hold to my top 3. And like I said in the other video, like separating Gimli is great. Keeping everyone in is great. And I think putting out Boromir is great. I just think putting out either Legolas or a Hobbit is a bit worse, in my opinion, because they both feel like just less good ways of defending the dew line compared to Gimli. So anyway, I still hold to that more or less. So, okay, 1 eye in, 1 more rolled, and Gandalf also rolls an eye. So thanks, Jerkdolf. Okay, so I pass. He musters Isengard to war. So I was sad about this because I saw I Will Go Alone, and that's half the point of this strategy is that I can crown Aragorn if it's a good turn. So like I'm this close. I can use the Palantir, play this, and then use a ring to move again, and that gets Aragorn Strider to Andrest, and then I'm out of gas. So if I had Fearfire Foes or Book, or if either of these had been a character die, then I could have done it, and I probably would have done it. But alas, such was not my fate this day. Okay, so instead I pick up a character card because the number of times that I've moved turn 1, killed Gandalf, then picked up Wizard's Staff as the next card, it's way too high. That's happened like 6 or 7 times now. So I just draw character cards now because I'm just sure it's going to be Wizard's Staff. So anyway, so he plays Monsters Roused. So that's a hoot. Then I muster the elves down. He thinks about it. He moves armies towards the Dew Line and the Barad-dur army down. Makes sense. I put that regular and that guy in the way. Like, Sauron's not at war yet, but he could still get Sauron to war and then attack this turn. Out comes Saruman. Fellowship moves and is safe. I say few because, like, honestly, in the Lord's expansion, it's always like, what if I get hit and revealed? It's pretty scary stuff, yeah. So tries to tackle the Forest Road, but Sauron's not to war, so now Sauron's at war. I might have gotten the Balrog there instead. Getting the elves closer. No, actually, no, I think that is a poor choice. Like, when you've already set out for the Dew Line, then getting the Balrog to get the elves even closer to war would mean next turn, if I've got 2 musters, I can for sure put an elite down in Woodland Realm. So, anyway. So, since Gandalf was an eye for me once, I follow the Master James superstition of rolling it until it's not an eye. Anyway, so, and it was an eye for the next time and then a draw. So, Fellowship, okay. I explain what I do there. He allocates 1 eye, rolls 2 more, and Gandalf is not an eye this time. So good job, Gandalf. Downside, again, can't crown Aragorn. So let's see. I play Every Little is a Gain here because I was really hoping for redrawing a strategy card into Scouts so that this regular could retreat to Woodland Realm, but still no Scouts for me. So what I find interesting here, as you'll see the turn, he attacks Old Forest Road, and he had Swarm of Bats, but he didn't play it, and he kills him. So bummer for me. I moved the elves down by mistake, and we put them back. It's the north that goes down. And now I draw a strategy card, and now it's Scouts. So like, bummer. I wish it had Scouts right there. So he besieges Woodland Realm, and I realized like he can't attack Dale now unless he has Ringwraiths or Abroad, which you can see he does, or what do you call it? Black Captain commands. If he also got the Witch King, he can't actually get the Witch King right now though because no one's at war. So I muster the North to war. He brings out Gothmog, and now that I see that, like, okay, even if I get revealed now, he can't get the Chief this turn. So I go ahead and move now, and I get hit, and it's a reveal. So that is very sad for me. So after thinking about this for a while, so there would be a plus side to killing Gandalf because Saruman's out there, so I could still get Gandalf the White, or I could go the high pass way to avoid the Balrog, but faster is nicer, right? So I decide to take the corruption here and finish mustering the North to war so that I still have Narya die for next turn. But here's my plan is I'm going to switch to Strider being the guide. So you still get the Narya die because Gandalf is the guide for the dice resolution phase. But then it's the fellowship phase that Strider switches over to being the guide. And then I can use him to hide. And hopefully next turn I can use I Will Go Alone. Since I've taken 2 steps forward, that's like with extra movement. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll only take a Palantir, a character, and a Will of the West to crown him next turn. So hopefully I can anyway. But we'll see. So, okay, so that's my plan, is I'll switch to Strider, hide, and then get Strider out of the way again for when I advance into/through Moria. Then hopefully the Balrog will kill off Gandalf for me. So he plays Worn with Sorrow and Toil. Fantastic choice. Very annoying for me. Always hate to see that card. Yuck, I say. Yeah. So then I finish mustering the North to war, and he gets to play Ringwraiths or Abroad, and I curse about it for a little while. And here's the really frustrating part. I was sure he didn't have Swarm of Bats because he didn't play it before. So then he picks a strategy card, and I play Scouts, and then he eats it. It's like, oh, that was very frustrating for me. Yeah, no, like, kudos to him. Very well played. He, didn't play it before because I guess he didn't mind if that regular got in compared to the regular and the leadership here, and then used it here. And yeah, I didn't have Scouts before, and now I did, and now I got eaten. So I was, very, very sad about that. Yeah. Okay, so here we go on to the next turn. The Fellowship might be slow, but at least they're revealed. So I switched to Strider here. Okay, Fellowship, okay. 1 eye in, 1 more rolled, and I get this roll. So it's another not crowning Aragorn and not moving very fast kind of turn while he has lots of attacks. So I'm definitely not feeling good about things at the moment. Okay, so I hide first with the Palantir. I'm still kind of considering playing I Will Go Alone, but it feels really bad. Like, I don't recommend. I cannot stress this enough. I don't recommend doing what I do later this turn. Okay, so out comes the Witch King. We talk about the Narya die. Then he brings in the Balrog, and let's see. So I'm hesitating on moving here specifically because of what I'm about to do anyway. So troops move forward. I put the regular over in Erebor and those guys over to Fords of Isen because, again, I want to delay what I'm about to do. He picks up Stormcrow, and now I play I Will Go Alone and move Strider. So why I say you should not do this is because I can't crown him this turn. And who knows when's the next time I'm going to roll a Will of the West, right? Like, this is just, it's really risky. Like, if I just never roll the Will of the West and he already has Corsairs here too. Yeah, that's very dangerous for me. Going off to crown Aragorn here in Dol Amroth. Because, like, say next turn I get him down there, but I don't roll the Will of the West, and he rolls a couple musters. Now Strider's not only stuck there and going to die, but he's not even Aragorn. So anyway, I extra do that, though, because I don't want to get revealed into Moria and then have the Balrog kill Strider either. So I wanted to get Strider out of the way so Gandalf could be guide again. And I also didn't want to get Galadriel first because, Galadriel would be able to protect Strider from an eye. But then if I don't get hit, then I'm stuck with both Gandalf, Narya, and Galadriel's keeper dice for next turn. So that sucks too. So there's just a lot of different ways for this to suck. Although I guess if I'd gotten Galadriel and moved, and then I would have had only Galadriel's die. So maybe that was a better choice. But anyway, here we are. Okay, so he moves out to finish conquering the North. I muster in the North just because, just for being a pain's sake. So he finishes moving to Umbar and that army out to Minas Morgul. I move the Fellowship, and we're safe this time. And out comes Gothmog. And away we go to next turn, where I'm desperately praying for a Will of the West next turn. So he picks up, man, and he picks up Cruel Weather. Turn 4, this is an amazing hand to have. Corsairs, Cruel Weather, Grond, another Swarm of Bats, Great Host. That's beautiful stuff. My cards are okay too. Like I started with Power 2 Great. Power 2 Great is a good card. Faramir is fantastic to have in this position. Kingbrand would have been better earlier, but it's still a nice shield wall anyway. So I'm not complaining about my cards either. I'll complain about my dice though. Okay, Fellowship okay. 1 eye in, 3 more rolled, 4 more rolled from Gandalf here too. So it is a fantastic turn for crowning Aragorn and not moving the Fellowship. And the game did bless me with the Will of the West this turn. So it had mercy on me and did not punish my my gamble so horribly here. Anyway, I'm also very lucky that he only has 1 muster. Like in hindsight, seeing that he had Corsairs in hand already and he can't get the Southruns all the way to war. That is very, very nice for me. So I play Faramir here first in case this army does attack Osgiliath. This way I get to muster the troops naturally. So he doesn't score a hit, but at least he exists there as a leader. He picks up Dreadful Spells. He plays Dreadful Spells, right, so that he can cycle character cards with the Chief on me there. And attacks Within the Realm and gets 2 hits, so that is 2 more than Deadly Dreadful Spells is usually supposed to get. And he draws into... Oh, no, right, he drew a strategy card, drew a character card instead. We won't go back. It's a strong combat card for, a guy like Gothmog anyway. So musters the Southruns down. Strider moves to Dol Amroth. So I could use a ring to crown Aragorn here, but I think I'm just going to use a ring to also move the Fellowship in addition to crowning Aragorn here. But I think I would rather just muster in Galadriel because since Gandalf isn't, since I'm not moving, his die will be out of the way. So it'll still just be 1 keeper die next turn. And hopefully next turn I can kill off Gandalf to the Balrog and get Gandalf the White since Saruman's in play. Okay, he Stormcrows against Gondor, which you don't see very often. Like we say here, it's not usual to see Gondor that high on the political track, because they start down here, right? They start on step 2, so seeing them back up in step 3. But at least Aragorn is crowned and they're activated, so that's yeah, funny stuff. Funny to me, anyway. So he attacks Osgiliath with a strategy card. I thought about playing Shield Wall here, but decided not to. Also thought about playing Heroic Death, but I want that leadership to survive and make it back to Minas Tirith. So he gets 2 hits. I get 2 hits. Reminded about the reroll for Gothmog, but fortunately that's a miss. That would have been a real bummer for me if that had been a hit, because then playing Shield Wall would have been worth it. Although I guess Swarm Bats would have canceled it anyway. But at least the elite and the leadership survived to make Minas Tirith stronger anyway. And I muster up a beginning character. No, I put in Galadriel. That's right. So he attacks Woodland Realm here with a character card. Oh, no card from that's me playing the character card. But he rolled 2 6s against my Heroic Death anyway, so Woodland Realm is still conquered here. And I'm kind enough to not get a hit back. So very, very gracious of me indeed. Okay, so I pick up Safe Paths in the Dark and Fear Fire Foes. Very happy to see Fear Fire Foes. It's nice to have an escape card like that in case, Corsairs are coming and things are scary for Aragorn here. Okay, so 1 eye in, 1 more rolled, and I get a reasonable roll. I like the 3 H's. I like a movement into Will. A second movement would be nice because I'm more likely to kill Gandalf that way. So because the Southrons aren't at war yet, I'm not too scared of Corsairs, but I do still need to keep my eye on that, of course. But I move first because I want to, move and kill Gandalf and get him back as Gandalf the White, preferably before he musters the Southrons down. Like, he still can do that after I do this, obviously. I'm kind of just hoping he won't anyway. That's why I'm trying to rush this anyway. But I get hit, and it's a 1 reveal, so that is a bummer. So I take it as corruption and declare past, kind of gambling that, hopefully the Balrog will kill Gandalf for me. So Balrog is a 2, so I'm okay with losing Gandalf to that. And then the Moria tile is Smeagol. So then there's Smeagol. So like I say, very happy it went that way around. If it had been Smeagol and then a 2, then I would not be able to kill Gandalf here. And I'd be stuck with the choice of okay, do I kill Smeagol now just to get back to Gandalf so that I can hopefully kill him later? Or do I keep Smeagol because I don't want Gandalf's stupid Narya die in the way? That would be very annoying anyway. So, yeah. Okay, so now the Southrons are at war. So now I have a choice. Am I scared of Corsairs or am I scared of Day Without Dawn? I decided I was more scared of Corsairs because I'd rather get Gandalf the White next turn if my Will of the West got taken away, rather than lose Aragorn forever right now. So I play Fear Fire Foes and Aragorn runs away. Bok goes the Aragorn, I say. And yeah, they're the Corsairs. So he did, in fact, have Corsairs. So I'm justified in my cowardice. Gondor is another step towards war. Now I get Gandalf the White. So it's honestly still looking pretty bad for me. Like we're on 5 turns and I've only taken 4 steps, and the military progress for Shadow is 10 out of 10 decent. Like he's already got 3 points. We forgot to update it there. And he's got Dol Amroth besieged on the cheap, and I have nothing to defend it with. And Minas Tirith is besieged. Like granted, it's in pretty good health, but yeah. So like he's already that close to like say he finishes off Gondor here, like he brings in this army and polishes that and polishes these strongholds. That's not that far away. Then he's up to 8 points already, so that sucks. Okay, so right, and then he plays Candles and gets 1 hit. That's fairly standard, a little unlucky, fairly standard. I draw a strategy card, and of course now it's Brand Wheel. Thanks a lot, jerk face. Okay, so then he uses Gothmog to muster up another elite. And I thought about trying to be cheeky for a Free People's military win here because I had 2 H's, right? So I could have walked this elite down to Old Forest Road and 1 step towards Dol Guldur, and these guys could have walked into Umbar, but he has 2 hybrids, so he'd just see me coming. I'd rather just muster up more in Carrick first anyway, I think, to be even more of a pain. So he attacks me with Strith and plays a shadow card. So I'm a character card. So, and since there's no Nazgul, we're not close to Moria, and there's no Orthanc troops, I'm pretty sure this literally has to be Fear of Their Masters. Also, the Fellowship is not in this region. So, with the knowledge that this is almost definitely Fear of Their Masters, for one, it would have been cool if I'd had advantageous position to play here. That would have been cool. So I thought about playing Valor, but thought, you know what, he's probably going to get 2 or more hits, so I think I'll play Shield Wall here first. So I played Shield Wall against it, and I don't. He rolls 3 hits, which is pretty good, and I get 1. No force rolled, so I don't regret not playing Valor, and 2. But because they're 6s against Fear of Their Masters, it's 4 hits. So yeah, pretty bloody. I decided to muster a leadership on both Pelargir and Carrick, because that way I can move them with character dice in case I do get like a miracle roll next turn. You know, then I can maybe sneak my way into Umbar, Minas Morgul, Dol Guldur, or maybe even Mount Gundabad. Okay, and the reinforcements come on out to deal with this Carrick army. Oh, not very thrilled about seeing that. So he picks up the Ring is Mine and Half Orcs and Goblin Men, and I pick up Círdan's ships and Axe and Bow. I'm pretty happy about both those cards. Very happy about Círdan. What do I chuck? I think I chuck Ents here. Yeah, I chuck the Ents here. Because, I don't know, I like all 3 of these character cards too much. And, like, I know it's better to get them all out quick against Worn with Sorrow and Toil, but I just liked everything else I had too much. Thranduil I keep simply because if I am going to do a Free People shenanigan, like this army attacking Eagle's Eyrie, suddenly with a Valor makes it more likely that I'm just going to wipe out that army and then be able to take Mount Gundabad. So, yeah. Anyway, so 1 eye in, 1 more rolled. Perfectly pleasant roll for me. I muster up more in Carrick. Maybe I should have just ran with the Fellowship right now. Maybe. Just like looking at this again, I have 5 movement here, but I guess I don't know. This army on Old Forest Road is just not that strong, so I was just, I wanted to be a pain here. Okay, he brings in the reinforcements from Dale, and those orcs come on out. So I muster up in Carrick again. I'm not sure if that's wise. Maybe I should have just ran with the Fellowship. I don't know. Anyway, so he attacks Carrick now. I wish I had my scouts back here, but no card, no card. He only gets 1 hit, though, so that's lucky for me. 1 hit back. So he presses. I run away. Definitely thought about running to Northern Mirkwood and maybe like trying to retake Woodland Realm, but if I besieged it, he just attacked me again there. And then I guess I run away back to Northern Mirkwood or Withered Heath and then take Dale, and then he just fights me there. I don't know. It didn't seem a very helpful prospect of accomplishing a lot of good. So I decided that at least, because again, I have Círdan's ships here, so I can also play it on this army. So that's hopeful anyway for making it strong enough to take Umbar. So naturally, he uses his hybrid die to muster in both of those spots. So I hide the Fellowship. He defends Umbar and brings this army in. I play Axe and Bow here because I'd rather, get value of it before War of Sword and Toil takes it away. He moves character dice. I move. I'm safe. That's nice. And then he Cruel Weathers me back into Moria. Oh, he should have picked up a card there. Did he? Yeah, we missed him picking up a card. That's a bummer. Okay, so yeah, now I have to declare or move and get revealed away from the Balrog. So that's another draw. That hurts. So I move again. Maybe I should have actually just like played a blue tile instead of moving again here. So I get hit, and it's an eye for one reveal. So I guess I also could have used Galadriel's ring here to block this eye, so as to not get revealed. But I don't know, that just didn't feel worth it. Like I'd rather save it for like a big, like 5 damage eye in Mordor or something. Anyway, I use Axe and Bow against it, reveal away. Then the Balrog draws another eye, so there goes Smeagol, which I'm fine with. That's okay. And then a 3 for Legolas, and after Legolas dies, then I realize, right, it's Worn with Sorrow and Toil twice here, so I lose the blue tile and Safe Paths in the Dark. So that made me very not excited about the Fellowship anymore, because not only am I down to, net -3 corruption, and I've only taken 5 steps. I still have 5 steps to go to get to Mordor. But also, I really can't get rid of We Shall Get It now. Like, Wind from the West could get rid of it, but that's a powerful card, and I don't know if I'm going to see it. That's 21 cards away. And I'm pretty close to Gollum. It's not like I'm going to make it to the Cracks of Doom without losing all these companions, right? So I'm getting more... what's the word? I'm more leaning towards a Free People's Military attempt here after that, because, I've got 7 dice, so... right, and I, am in my depths of despair about the Fellowship's hopes, and hoping that I can, that the Balrog's ability doesn't count for Worn with Sorrow and Toil, because if I still had Safe Paths in the Dark, I'd feel a lot better about it. But so I looked it up, and yes, it does. It trigger Worn with Sorrow and Toil, so we did play that correctly. So away goes Galadriel's time. Fellowship, okay, 1 eye in, another one rolled, and a great roll for me. I definitely can't complain about that. Let's see. Okay, so what do? I attack Barad-dur because, like I said, I'm going back to going after a Free People's Military win here. He plays Olog High, which makes sense. Maybe he should have played a Half-Orcs and Goblin Men first. There's certainly nothing unreasonable about that, though. So, now I officially jump the train. Since the Fellowship is within range, Boromir, Gimli, and both the Hobbits come along here. So you might be thinking to yourself, Bob, shouldn't you have then taken the 3 corruption instead of Legolas? Yeah, I hadn't made up my mind yet at that point. So anyway, here we are. So then he also plays Half-Orcs and Goblin Men. So now it's a tough fight. I do have a couple good cards. I have 2 Valors and a Charge, but I don't want to use it for there. And no Quarter, but I don't want to use it for that either. And a Brave Stand. So I still think I can maybe do this. Anyway, I try it. So I play Brave Stand against no card. So I roll 0 6s on 10 dice. That feels bad. But he rolls a 6, though. So anyway. So I decide to press. I try my luck again here. I think I play Valor here. And I roll 0 hits on 5 and 6 for 5 dice. But I get 1 6 on the reroll. So that's a poor performance from Boromir and Gimli here. And he gets 2 hits back. So, now I'm officially giving up on this, on Barad-dur here. Not unless reinforcements come anyway. So now I'm feeling kind of like an idiot. Like maybe I should have just kept moving with the Fellowship and, hope my luck improved. I don't know. I guess we crashed and rebooted here. And he conquers Pelargir and brings reinforcements to Minas Tirith. He attacks Minas Tirith. No card. He rolls 2 6s. I roll 4 hits back. He presses. No card. Another 2 hits from him. 1 hit back. Looking grim for me here. Out comes Elrond, because since Galadriel's die is gone now. Uses the Gothmog muster on Minas Tirith. I muster in Lasarnik because I'm pretty committed to Free People's Military now, so I feel like I might as well get these elites out into the Force Pool. Maybe they can join up with this army and go attack Mordor, go attack Umbar. I don't know. Then he plays Hill Trolls on Barad-dur. I think that's, I don't know. It's not a crazy choice because, I could still attack, and if I got lucky, I might be able to win that. I think I might have held on to that card, though, simply because it's really good for defending other strongholds, too. But then again, I guess what else were you going to do with that Palantir? Maybe play a red tile, maybe draw a strategy card. I might have drawn a strategy card. Anyway, so I use the Will of the West to also muster up some more in Lasarnik, and he switches up the Witch King. Yeah, which is a reasonable choice after after you see that I've given up on the Fellowship. The more card cycling from him is pretty handy. Okay, so I pick up File and guards the Citadel. That's not bad. So this is a decent turn for me, because like hugely, this is one of the things that makes Aragorn even more powerful for a Free People's military win. Like aside from the extra die and Anduril and Dead Men and stuff like that, just the fact that you have this extra die makes it more likely that you get turns like this, where I get the last tempo naturally without needing to use a token or Elrond or Elrond's ring ability. Like he just happened to roll a couple more eyes, so now I have 7 dice to his 6. So I go first and last this turn, and I'll go first again next turn. So that is some useful tempo advantage there. So I muster in Lasarnik first. He attacks Lasarnik, no card, no card. He gets only 1 hit. I get 1 hit back. That's, again, pretty lucky for me. He comes out and conquers Lasarnik, so I can't muster anymore. That's reasonable. I use the Palantir to play Guards of the Citadel largely because I just don't have anything better to do. And like the Gondor force pool is pretty minimal, so I'm not going to bother liberating Pelargir to muster anymore. There's like just a few regulars. Literally 3 regulars and 1 leadership to try to get out of it. Like it's not worth the time. It'll just take too long and it's not that much more helpful. So I put those guys in there just to slow him down a little bit more. He musters in Minas Tirith to help it out. And so I was thinking about playing Círdan's ships here, but just the order of where you draw your opponent's attention can be helpful anyway. So I put these companions together because I'm officially going after Free People's military, but I kind of want to make it seem like I'm still going after Minas Tirith anyway. So he musters in Minas Tirith again. I move the companions down to Osgiliath. He musters in... Oh, no, he walks troops. I see. Yeah. So he, from the 3 regulars there, he walks 1 to Moran and 1 to Minas Morgul. The other 2 to Minas Morgul. I think mustering would have been better, just because like this has 3 on the front lines. You would have mustered 2 more and then still had those 3 regulars there anyway. But that's not unreasonable, though. To his credit, he does see that I could have played through a day and a night here if I had it, and he moves in time to defend it. So that makes sense. So I play Círdan's ships on West Horondor there. Definitely needed those reinforcements. So I'm lucky I picked up that card for sure. So he brings leadership over to take Dol Amroth. I move my armies together towards Mordor, and he plays Grant here against Dol Amroth. So he plays Morgul Wound just to cycle it, and he just rolls 4 6s like it's no big deal. Dol Amroth is most certainly conquered. So I'm a little worried at this point that he might be able to just get the 10 points, because Minas Tirith is very close to falling too. The question, though, is where does he get his 2 points after that? Like, could he maybe sneak out to Edoras? Could these guys go up and get the Shire? Or could these guys get Erebor? Or could they maybe take Lorien or Rivendell? Or Sneaky Helm's Deep here. Like, there's a lot of different ways he might get those 2 points still. So it's hope for me, but it's certainly not over anyway. So I pick up Blade of Westerness, which is great if the Witch King comes over to fight me anyway. I'm not sure if he will or not. So he rolls 0. He commits 0 eyes this time, which is the right call, and then he rolls 3 more and only 1 muster. So that is a bad turn for him for sure. So I use a Will of... I was really hoping I'd pick up through a day and a night here, because then I would have been able to send not that many troops, just like quick boop, and they're into Barad-dur, But on the other hand, also prioritizing the conquering of Minas Morgul is good, because if he had a card, like Pits of Mordor or The King is Revealed, then he could use those to reinforce it. So cracking it first right away is also reasonable. So I attack Minas Morgul first. I play a strategy card here. I think I'm playing No Quarter. Yeah, I play No Quarter, but I roll 2 6s right off the hop anyway. So that's more 6s than was rolled entirely against Dol Guldur put together right there. So he gets 1 hit back. That's okay. That's a pretty reasonable result. So I've got my 2 points, which is good. That's a start for me. If he survives this turn, then he can get the mouth, though. So that is like long term. That might be a bad deal for me. Like I really need to strike now. Like the longer this goes, the more it plays into his hand. So anyway, he plays Pits of Mordor now, because I think he realizes that through a day and a night is absolutely a danger. So he plays that to protect Barad-dur and defend Moran and more, obviously. Okay, so I draw... I thought for a while about which deck is better. I think there were just like more useful combat cards in the character deck. So that's why I went with that. Orderly Withdrawal is okay. Anyway, it... Field Battle or Sortie. Oh, maybe that is useless, actually, because I was thinking I might be able to use this while besieging, but it specifically says field battle or sortie, and a sieging battle is not a field battle or sortie. So I guess that doesn't actually help. So I guess I should have actually played that while he attacks Minas Tirith here. So he's officially going for... I see him move there, so I'm thinking, okay, he's definitely going for 10 points this turn, but how is he going to do it? Does he have Black Captain commands? Because we've already seen Ring Wraiths or Abroad. So that either means he's going to try to get Erebor, or maybe he's trying to get the Shire, but I don't think he has enough dice for that anymore. Yeah, because 1 to take that, and then 3, so that's like enough to walk to the Shire, and to walk to Edoras, but that's not enough to actually conquer the Shire as well. So never mind, that's off the table. Also, with only 3 dice after that, maybe... Okay, I guess it's possible he could come and attack Lorien as well. But yeah, I think Erebor is the plan. So anyway, so I draw another card. He attacks Minas Tirith, no card. And he rolls 2 6s, and I roll 0 hits back, so that's that. So yeah, now he is that close to Shadow Player military win. He just needs 2 more points from something. So I come on out now because I was waiting first to see what he does, because if he'd still had 1 more attack, like if he hadn't attacked Minas Tirith, this army could come and threaten to retake Minas Morgul. But now that he's down to 3 attacks, like 1, 2, 3, that's only enough to besiege it. Yeah, same with this army, 1, 2, 3. Same with this army, 1, 2, 3. And even after this is gone, so like he'll have to spend another die, and then I move out of the way. Then he'll only have 2 dice, so these armies could join and besiege. So now Minas Morgul, as long as I leave 1 regular in it, is fine, and this army is free to take Barad-dur. So as long as he doesn't get to 10 points, then I can win. Assuming this army is strong enough to crack Barad-dur, which it really should be, right? Anyway, so now he plays Black Captain commands, and he's off to go get Erebor. So yeah. So luckily for me, I have Dane, right, and I have an extra muster die I don't need. So that's pretty lucky for me. Like luck has been against me a few times in this game, but I think is very strong for me, the action rolls these last 2 turns, and that card specifically. So he goes after Erebor, character card versus character card. So I do a sudden strike against his Cruel as Death. Because I think, honestly, this army doesn't even need any cards to help it anymore. So any card to just make sure Erebor can hold is what I need here. So with my Bree, I get 1 hit, and he rolls 2 hits, and I roll 3 hits back. So fairly standard stuff. He has to try to make this work somehow anyway. Oh, that's a bummer he drew from the wrong deck. There, for a second, I saw Deadly Strife in his hand, and that's exactly what he needs. But, okay. Okay, so he passes. I besiege Barad-dur. He tries Erebor again, the character card. 0 hits for him, 3 hits from me. So that is an end to the Erebor siege. It was, after Dane and after a couple of bad rounds, it doesn't look so great anymore. Like if the dice had been strong, though, like that could have worked. Okay, so then we try Barad-dur again, and we see if, like I say, I see if Boromir and company can roll more 6s than they did in Dol Guldur. I don't shine. I play no quarter because that way I just need 1 6 to finish this, and I get my 1 6. And yeah, then when he rolled the fight back, then it froze. But so we just called it there because that's GG anyway. So we don't know how much damage they would have done back then. So I abandoned Fellowship. Almost all the Fellowship made it to Mount Doom. Actually, they made it to Barad-dur. That's Gandalf, Aragorn, Gimli, Boromir, and both the Hobbits. So it's Legolas, Frodo, and Sam that didn't make it. Legolas died, and Frodo and Sam are stuck back here right next to Lorien while everyone else won the day for them. But yeah, no, it was a good game. We talked a little bit about how I think a bit after the game, how maybe instead of mustering the Goth-Mog army, maybe you could have mustered Mordor, or maybe this army could have came to threaten a retake. But yeah, honestly, no, still pretty close. Like if the dice had gone better for him in Erebor, this could have been a Shower Player military victory instead. So good games. I enjoyed them both, and I'm looking forward to going up against Strider in the next round. Let's take a look at statistics. So +2 on 6s for him, +6 overall on hits for me. Really? Wow, didn't feel like that. Huh. Oh, no, these are reversed. Okay, that makes more sense. We see Free People's rolled 116 and Shadow Player rolled 97. That seems unlikely. Because because I didn't do a lot of conquering, so that seems very unlikely. Like I took Minas Morgul and Barad-dur, but both of those were fairly short battles, so I don't think that's actually accurate. So +3 on 6s and +3 on 5s for him, -9 on 5s for me, and +2 on 6s for me. So that the 5s weren't actually that relevant. It was mainly just like the Valor and Dol Guldur where that was felt anyway. Yeah, +2 on eyes, +2 on Palantirs, -2 on musters, -2 on hybrids. That was felt for him. That definitely contributed to my, the luck of the Free People's Win. +2 on H's, +2 on W's. That helps for me a lot for sure. Yeah. So anyway, it was a fun game. Thanks for watching. Catch you all next time.